Hey guys, I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing a type of product that I haven't reviewed on my channel for a while, and that is a high-end foundation. And you have probably seen this foundation all over TikTok last year and on YouTube, but I really wanted to try it for myself, and that is the KVD Good Apple Foundation Balm. If you want to see my review on this foundation, then keep on watching. Just Before we try on this product, I want to give you a little bit of information on it. I purchased this foundation at Ulta for $40.50. In my book, it's pretty expensive. I mean, I don't usually go for high-end foundations just because I feel like drugstore foundations work just as great and they're just so much cheaper. But I really wanted to try this. I'm really interested in this whole balm aspect of it, so that's kind of what made me want to try it. So from the website, it does say that it's a fast, lightweight, full coverage, and it says that a little goes a long way. It gives you a natural finish that looks like skin. It says it quickly covers everything from blemishes to discolorations to tattoos, and it lasts all day. So it's very much in line with the KVD foundations, how they're very full coverage foundations and they can cover a lot. This vegan foundation is infused with apple extract and sodium hyaluronate to help nourish and hydrate skin. It's creamy, non-comedogenic, and it minimizes the appearance of pores for a smooth, healthy look. It's best for balanced to dry skin, but it says oily folks can use it too. I do get oily when I use foundation, so we'll see if it's going to last on my skin. When I was testing out the colors at Ulta, I tested it on my hand, which is probably not a good idea. I just didn't want to put anything on my face from the testers at Ulta, but what matched my hand color is light 018. The way they describe this shade online is that it's for light skin with cool undertones. Now, I don't think I have ever purchased a foundation with cool undertones before. It's always been neutral, and then before I used to get more like the golden tones, which really didn't work out for my skin. So I don't know if this is gonna work for my skin, but it did match my hand like perfectly. I have no idea about like undertones and everything, and I'm still like working through it. So that's why I always get just neutral, because I feel like that is the closest match. But let's see if I actually do have cool undertones. I don't know. As far as the shade range, it does come with 40 shades, which I think is incredible. I think it does have a very good variety of shades. Online though, they do say that the shades look different in the compact than on the skin. They said to use the photos of the shade on skin to help you pick the right shade. And it says don't stress because returns are free within 60 days. I don't know if that applies to Ulta as well, but on the KVD website it says that. This is what it looks like outside of the package. I think it looks very clean. It's in a plastic container. There is no mirror or anything. It comes like this when you open it up. Says it comes with 10 grams or 0.35 ounces. Since this is a balm, I don't know how that translates to like liquid foundation, because I know the KVD foundation that I have that's liquid, it's 1 ounce. So I don't know, but it does say a little goes a long way. So I'm wondering if that's why it's less ounces, that you don't have to use as much as like a liquid. The way I'm going to be doing this review, I'm going to do half of my face using my Eco Tools sponge, and then the other half of my face I'm going to use a flat top brush, so this kabuki brush here. I'm going to use all the same products that I normally do use, which I will put down below. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, I wanted to bring you closer so you can see what my face is looking like before I apply the foundation. So I am having a breakout, especially on my chin here. So you can see that there are scars. There is also acne. I do have pimples here on the right side, and then I think I have like a little bit of pimples on my left side of my forehead too. I have already prepped my skin, I moisturized, but we are going to go in with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And I'm doing this because like it said that it's more for balance to dry skin. It also works with oily skin, but I just want to give my skin like the best chance of this foundation working. I just kind of rub my finger in here and it's very, very creamy. Like it picks up really fast. I just put it on my hand here and it looks like it's darker now than my hand. So now I'm like, I don't know if the lighting in Ulta was different or something. It looks like it could possibly match my face, but we'll see. Here's my Eco Tools. I'm just gonna dip it in here. And that's what picked up. So we'll do this left side of the face here.
Swear I would watch the Lakers game, even though I don't know basketball from the game we're playing. Yeah, I'm not overcomplicated. You don't have to spin a web with the words you're saying.
Okay, so they're definitely right about a little going a long way. I dipped once in there with my sponge and it covered like the whole left side of my face. And I would say that the color match is actually pretty good. I like the way it applied with the sponge. So let's go and try the brush on the right side of my face. So let's just dip into it. Just like that, kind of picked up some. I don't really like the way it's picking up with the brush just because I feel like it's taking a lot more out of the balm. Okay, so let's start applying the foundation with the brush. With this one, I'm going to have to dip in a little bit more.
I know I'm a good catch. I just got some bad habits. I ain't the wrong match. Why does it feel?
Both sides are applied. Left side with the sponge, right side with the brush. And right away, the difference that I can tell from using the sponge versus the brush is that the sponge, for some reason, it blended a lot easier, maybe because it's wet, and it gave me more coverage. It felt a lot lighter. I feel like when I use the brush, it feels heavier, and I don't know if that's just because I had to keep picking up more product to put it on my face. The initial application with the brush, I don't know if you can tell, like right here, the pores are much more accentuated on the right side of my face than they are on the left side. Like you can still see the pores on my left side of my face, but on the right, they are much more accentuated. I definitely like applying it with a sponge much better than a brush, but we'll see how it lasts throughout the day. I'm going to use my e.l.f. concealer. Concealer is all on and it blended very nicely with this foundation. I'm going to go put the rest of my makeup on, then I'll come back and give you my initial thoughts. All right guys, so I have all of my makeup on and my makeup applied very well. I used a cream blush this time instead of a powder blush, but I did use a powder contour, and I feel like all of my makeup settled into the foundation very well. The brush side, still, even with all of the makeup on, you can tell the pores are just much more accentuated still than on the side that I used the sponge on. So overall, I think right now it's a really good foundation. I love the coverage of it. It feels very lightweight, especially when you use the sponge. I do feel like it's very skin-like. I don't know how it's going to do at the end of the day, but I do really like the finish. I think it's very natural. It's not super matte. So overall, I really like this foundation so far, especially with using the sponge. I'm going to do an 8-hour wear test with this foundation. It is currently 1:22 p.m. So I will do a check-in at the 4-hour mark and see how the foundation is doing. And then I will be back at the end of the day and show you guys how this foundation held up. So I will see you guys in 4 hours. Okay guys, so it is 6 o'clock and it is a little bit over 4 hours since first applying the foundation. I am filming on my phone just because I feel like you can really see with the phone close up what it's looking like. So here is...
I told myself I wouldn't be here, back in the car on the way to your apartment. I thought by now I'd see it clearer, but what I need isn't the same as what I'm wanting.
It's a little bit patchy right here on my chin, like where my acne is. when I look and compare like the sponge side to the brush side, I can definitely tell like the sponge side, like you can still see, and I napped on this side of my face, okay? So you can still see the blush, you can still see the contour on there. It just looks so much smoother. And here on this brush side, it's just not as smooth. As far as oiliness though, like I'm really shocked that I'm not more oilier, because usually around this 4-hour check-in with other foundations, I'm pretty oily. And this was not like a matte foundation, so I am pretty impressed actually with the way it's holding up on my skin. Yeah, I am liking this foundation a lot. I will do another check-in at the end of my day. It'll be nighttime by then. So I will see you guys tonight. Okay guys, so it is 10:08 p.m. So it has been over 8 hours of wear time with this foundation, and let me get close up so you guys can see what the foundation looks like.
Cause whenever I'm feeling down, I lean right into my demons. Yeah, I wish I could turn around, knowing I'm better off.
You guys can tell that I am oily. I feel like it's definitely like my nose is shiny and then here on my cheeks, but I think if I touch up, I think it'll still be okay. But you can tell like the foundation is still laid on pretty nicely. My contour is still on. With this lighting, with like the lighting on my face, you can't really see the blush, but when I look in my mirror, the blush is still on my face. So let me give you guys my final thoughts on this foundation. Let's start off with the shade. I think the shade is great for my skin. I am so shocked about the whole cool undertones. I just never thought to purchase like something with cool undertones because I always chose neutral, but maybe I do have cool undertones because it's a really nice match. And even my husband commented actually, and he said that the foundation looked really good and looked really, he said high end. I didn't even tell him it was a high end foundation, but he said high end. So yeah, it looks, I think the shade is a great match. And the fact that they have 40 shades and the variety of shades is really nice. The fact that it's a balm, I think is really cool. I've never really tried like a balm foundation before, and I really love it. A little really does go a long way. As you saw when I used the sponge, I only had to dip in a little bit and it covered the whole left side of my face. As far as using a sponge or a brush, definitely use a sponge. I feel like the sponge just smooths out the balm on your face and it looks really nice. I think the brush, while it does give you, you could get the same amount of coverage, and usually when I use a brush, you get more coverage, but for some reason with this balm, I feel like it was more cakey and it didn't spread out as nicely, so you had to apply more, and it just didn't fill in the pores, like it accentuated the pores instead of kind of like smoothing over the pores. I'm oily like I usually am after the 8-hour mark, but I can see that how this is more geared towards a balanced to dry skin, it really works on oily skin. Overall, I think this is a great foundation. I think it applied beautifully, it lasted long, it worked for my oily skin, it was a good match for my skin, and they have tons of shades to choose from. If you are willing to spend the money, it is $40.50, but it's in line with a lot of high-end foundations. They're all around kind of that like high 30s to 40s. I think it's great. I love it. I'm so glad that it worked out because I don't usually buy high-end foundations, but I love this foundation. I think it looks really great. Thank you guys so much for watching my review on KVD's Good Apple Foundation Balm. If you want to follow me on all of my other social media, I am Jenn So-Called Life on Facebook and on Instagram, and I will be back next week with another video. Bye guys.